And as to what's coming up, it's typically the same thing. We have a routine. I won't say a routine schedule, but the same things come up every year as far as, the road maintenance, the brush cutting, they're getting the parks and recs ready.
Right. How many parks do you have to take care of? Total.
I have to count them out in my head.
Well, you just go through a couple of them with me. You got Children's Beach. You got the park out at, the big baseball field out there in
Tom Nevers.
Yep.
Yeah, and you got Mill Hill Park. You got a Coffin Park. You got the Delta Fields. You got the turf fields. So that goes on. That's a lot.
I mean, that in itself.
That's a lot.
And
that's
jetties.
A lot. Yes.
And you guys take care of it?
Yes.
Right.
And we got jetties. And then you got Dionis down here, which is another building that Park and Recs tend to take care of, you know, with the cleaning of the bathrooms and things of that sort, of that nature.
All right, so speaking of bathrooms, are you responsible for the town bathrooms? You guys keeping those clean?
No, I'm not. They hire a contractor to keep those clean.
They do?
Yes.
And what about trash? I mean, I know the clean team does a lot, but
yes,
this time of year, because you can see it all.
Yes.
You try to get in here?
Yes, we have to. We send guys out to do roadside pickup. You know, and that's one of the problems that we can never ever. All we can do is try to control it a little bit.
You just drive along here. You can
because what happens is you get a lot of the trash trucks and normal private citizens that are driving down the road, and trash is constantly flying out, especially Madigan Road, Sconset Road,
right?
You know, even Old South Road,
right?
You know, and you can clean it up spick and span. And you go back 5 minutes later, and it looks like you haven't been out it.
I think people. I don't think it can all be part of trash trucks. I think people are throwing
not just
stuff.
trash trucks. Oh yes, you do
people
have that.
People are throwing stuff out of the car, and it's terrible.
You have a lot of that. You have a lot of people throwing stuff out of their cars because you go down the road and you find single coffee cups and beer bottles with urine in them and things like that. You know what I mean?
Gosh, I mean the stuff you guys must.
The beer cans that people throw out. You know what I mean? Yes. It's.
The things you must find.
Yes, and in order to keep it clean, we need participation from everybody.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Right. How many guys have we got working for the DPW right now?
17.
17,
but
okay, and their job. I mean, right. But
right, you got 17, but most of them already have a assigned position. They have a place, and what I mean about that, like 2 of them are mechanics, so they're not out here picking up trash or doing any of that.
Right,
you know what I mean? So then you're down to 15. And then we got 2 of them in the vac-on truck or the cash basin truck. So we're down those 2.
Yep.
You know what I mean? We got 2 of them in the trash truck. It doesn't happen overnight, it's not an overnight thing, and we just make the best out of what we have. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, Nantucket is pretty clean as towns go, don't you think? You must see it too.
When I go off island, but I try not to use that as a reason to not do more. Mm-hmm. But when I do go off island and see different places, it does make me feel good knowing that we do a pretty good job at cleaning, even though it's not as good of a job as some other people.
Right. There is. I mean, you just all you got to do is look inside some of these moors, and you can see trash. It's just you'll see it everywhere. So we had a relatively calm winter. Boy, that was relieving, right?
Wow.
We saved some money too on.
Thank God.
I mean, it costs. Is it a lot more expensive every time it snows? Does it actually cost the town a lot
Oh yes. No, not
more than normal though.
And depends on when it snows, because if it snows a certain time, then all that time is overtime. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
Which is it consumes quite a bit of money. You got 17, 20 actually, because we even call in the wastewater guys. So you got 20 some guys on it, time and a half for 20 hours, sometimes like last year, even more than that, You
got it.
So it's, I like that this winter was, I think it was less than mediocre, but because we had also changed from using sand and stuff, so it gave us some time to sort of try to work out the kinks with the whole new process that we were using. So I was glad that we didn't get pummeled.
What do you mean the new process?
Of using treated salts instead of sand. We didn't use sand this year.
Oh, I see.
Which also
is that new? Is it brand new to do that?
For here, yes.
Doesn't that rot your car out though?
Actually not. The pH and the treated salts that we're using is 6.2, which is
very low.
pretty much neutral.
Neutral.
You know what I mean? So
it's just more expensive than sand.
Well, actually, it's not, because what happens is when you're using sand and salt, right?
Yeah.
Sand acts as an insulator, which makes you have to put down more salt in order to do the job.
Got it.
Okay.
Yes.
So that therefore is not, because when you use sand and salt, you use twice as much salt as, some of the guys were going, and I think they were like about half the truck to do their route in comparison to coming back and filling up and doing it over and over again. You know what I mean? And we were getting much, much better results. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So, I mean, in short time, you were seeing bare pavement for the most part.
Yes.
Because...
And you don't have to plow as much because of that, too, right?
Right. Well, yeah. If
you throw the salt down and it's snowing while you throw it down, does that still does that melt it before you have to plow it again to a certain degree?
Yeah, to a certain degree. You throw your salt down, and your salt starts to melt your snow, and some people will wonder why the guy got to plow? Why isn't it down? Well, you throw the salt, you have to give the salt a chance to react, which it creates a brine, which anything comes after, it melts it to a point until it gets diluted to a point where it's no longer effective. And then you drop your plow, you move that off, but at the same time you drop the salt back down. Right, you know what I mean?
Right.
And you pick your plow back up and let it work. But it also stopped us from having to packed ice onto the road, because when we were pre-treat, and some people would wonder why we were dropping salt on the road, and there was no snow coming down. That's because we wanted to break the bond between the road and the snow.
Okay.
And
so that's good information. People are going to think, like, why are they doing what they're doing? They're always wondering, aren't they?
Oh, yeah.
People give you a hard time a lot? I mean,
not me. I haven't seen a hard time. Great. I mean, there are a lot of people that
complain all the time.
Yes,
you know that.
And I think there's some people that have their expectations sometimes are beyond reasonable. You know what I mean?
Of course.
You know what I mean?
And that's your job. You gotta calm their fears, right?
Yes,
that's part of your job.
Of course. And I try to, and some people you can speak very rational with, and they understand where you're coming from once you speak to them. You know what I mean?
That's right.
And so try to do that, and even the ones that doesn't necessarily take it, you still have to keep the smile on your face, because it's all public relations. Deal with that very nicely.
It's a little different from where you came from over at the water treatment
facility.
Well,
I didn't have to deal with anybody.
No. How has that transition been? I mean,
it's actually been fine, because I'm a people person anyway. I talk a lot. You know what I mean? And it hasn't been hard. I mean, the biggest thing has been just trying to wrap my head around everything that goes here.
Now you're in charge of people too. I mean, being in charge of people is management of personalities.
Right, and exactly.
Right.
And maintaining your composure in situations that are
that can be a tough job. Not everybody can do that.
Yes.
Well, I'm going to wish you the best, but before you go, I want to talk to you a little bit, because you're such a water treatment guy. You know so much about what happened out there. How long were you there for that job?
10 years.
10 years. So you know a lot about that. And with all the sewers, the sewer work that might happen, which probably will at some point. If it's not now, it's definitely going to come at some point. A question I get asked all the time by people is, can that facility handle the amount of sewer that we want to do inevitably, or do we have to build that too? Would you huh? I want to get you in hot water here.
I'd rather stay away from that.
It's not your thing. No.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this though. Are we at capacity sometimes when we're during the summertime out there?
Are we at capacity?
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
plant is working away
Yeah.
at times in the summertime, but not during normal days. You know, during normal days is fine, but when you got I, water seeping in through the system, you know what I mean? Infiltration. Water, groundwater
water?
seeping into the sewer system.
Oh, okay.
You know,
that unusual?
broken pipes and all that.
Yeah.
So sometimes when that happens, you can, in a real...
Oh, I see. When
Yeah.
the sewer pipes are bad,
Yes,
it's sucking everything out of the whatever around it.
it leaches in, especially like if you got cracks in the pipe, and then the
see.
ground is saturated with water.
Right.
So it can't go past the pipe, so it goes in the first place it can go, which is into the cracked sewer pipes, and that tends to happen during real storms, and that can work the plant, but
Hey, your management now, man.
gonna try to.
They picked a good guy. I've
him
known you
all.
for years,
Yes.
and I'm really happy for you, and I hope it works out for you.
I'm gonna give it my all. I can tell you that.
Got it.
I won't quit.